"Sir, do you know Spanish?" The voice quivered, a gentle request piercing through the bustle of the Saturday morning throng at the open-air bazaar. Ethan glanced up from his stall, where his 6-year-old daughter Lily was carefully arranging apricots like puzzle pieces. The query came from an aged grower standing near a display of drooping greens and overly ripe tomatoes, worry carved deeply into his weathered face. Ethan paused, then nodded. "Sí. Hablo español. Necesita ayuda?" The farmer's expression shifted from dread to ease. That was when it all began. Ethan hadn't intended to be anyone's savior that day. He was merely a 32-year-old single father, an electrician working late shifts, striving to offer his daughter a typical weekend. They followed a pattern: pancake breakfast, then the local market where Lily learned to tell eggplants from zucchinis and perhaps nabbed a treat from the bakery stall. But this morning stood apart. The grower, Mr. Antonio, shared in rapid Spanish that a mistake had occurred. He was meant to pay his market fee at the booth by the entrance, but the English-only signs confused him. Someone accused him of vending unlawfully and threatened to summon security. He tried explaining, but no one grasped his words. "I'm just trying to sell my produce," he said, hands shaking. "My wife is ill. I need her medicine." Ethan felt a pang in his heart. Without speaking, he gestured for Mr. Antonio to follow. Leaving his stall and Lily, who clutched her stuffed bunny tightly, he strode to the market office. The exchange was quick and pointed. Ethan translated everything: the documents, the mix-up, the urgency. The supervisor, a no-nonsense woman gripping a clipboard, arched a brow but soon relented. "I'll let it slide this time," she said, "but tell him to seek help next time." Ethan conveyed the message. Mr. Antonio sighed heavily, then embraced him warm. "A lie!" Lily cheered. That could have been the end, but it wasn't. Unseen by Ethan, a woman had observed quietly from behind, unnoticed. She wore a broad hat, sunglasses, and held a coffee with quiet authority. She owned the market. Her name was Eleanor Watson, founder of a regional food cooperative supplying over 50 stores statewide. She was there that morning, undercover, conducting her compassion checks, observing how vendors were treated, how patrons acted, how the community worked when it thought no one notable was watching. She hadn't expected to find a story, but there it was, unfolding before her. Later that day, Ethan was packing up to leave. He and Lily had just enjoyed their usual fresh lemonade and a chocolate chip cookie when Eleanor approached. "You managed that situation with the farmer wonderfully," she said. Ethan blinked, caught off guard. "Oh, He needed assistance, that's all." Eleanor smiled. "Precisely, and not everyone steps in when someone needs aid." She offered her hand. "Eleanor Watson, I manage the market." Ethan hesitated, then shook it. "Ethan, just Ethan, and this is Lily." Lily beamed, her face smudged with chocolate. "I want to thank you," Eleanor said, "not just for translating, but for showing what true community means. This market is meant to foster connection. You reminded me of that today." Then came the surprise. She handed him a card. "If you're ever seeking work that matters, call me. We're starting a program to help immigrant farmers. Translation, mentorship, fair representation. You'd be ideal." Ethan stared at the card, speechless. He wasn't used to being noticed, let alone valued. That night, after Lily drifted off, clutching her bunny like a treasure, Ethan sat on his couch's edge, flipping the card in his hands. He thought of Mr. Antonio, his late wife who once helped at shelters, and his vow to raise Lily kindly. Maybe this was part of that vow. A month later, Ethan started part-time with the cooperative, arranging workshops, translating vendor forms, aiding newcomers through complex paperwork and permits. Mr. Antonio became the face of a campaign honoring first-generation growers. Lily insisted on joining the photo with him. The market shifted subtly but noticeably. More signs appeared in Spanish, more smiles bridged language gaps, more kindness, less confusion. On one particularly bright morning, Lily tugged Ethan's sleeve, pointing to a new vendor, a woman with lively eyes and crates of mangoes. "Daddy," she whispered. "Red, she looks nervous," Ethan grinned. "Let's go say hello." Because sometimes a few words in the right tongue can unlock doors you never knew were there. Final line. Kindness doesn't always don a cape. Sometimes it speaks another language and stands quietly in line, waiting to help.